Howdy, this is Alma with the Talking Points team, and today I'm going to be showing you another new feature that you have accessible in your district and school accounts for the upcoming school year 21-22. This is starting with a district account. When you log in, you may notice an additional menu option here labeled Staff that was not there before. This new staff menu is combined with three new staff permissions that are present in your Talking Points account. I'll go over in just a second what those permissions are, but these three new permissions were developed with the help of our actual school and district partners, just like yourselves, who needed some additional flexibility in addition to the previous roles that we had to be able to give staff more control or potentially less control over what they have and are able to do in those accounts. I'm going to go ahead and show you what this permission looks like. So when you go ahead and click Add Staff, you'll see that you now have 6 different permissions to select from here. Just like before, you'll be able to add their first name, last name, and email address. And you'll be able to select from 5 of these 6 permissions. You'll notice that the top one, the district administrator, is grayed out for security purposes because that level of the account, the level of the account that you are theoretically viewing right now, has a ton of power, a ton of capabilities to manage, oversee, and really have control over the full spectrum of data within your Talking Points account. So those permission levels are still something that the Talking Points team needs to assign for you. So if you have additional staff who really need that highest level of super user district admin permissions, feel free to send their names and email addresses to us and we can assign them. However, as a district admin, you do have the ability to assign any of the remaining permissions here. Before I show you what you can do with those, of course, we need to know what each permission has the ability for. As you are hopefully familiar, the 3 permissions and roles that we had before are district admins for those of you on our district-wide platform, school admins, both on the district-wide platform and for those of you only using it for one school, and of course available to everyone, our teacher permission. The district admin, hopefully self-explanatorily, can see everything at the district level, send messages at the district level, etc. The school admin can do that at the school level, and the teacher, of course, is only assigned to their particular class rosters and does not have access to everyone in the building or the district. Those were great, those worked really well, but we came to find, again with the help of our district and school partners, that there were 3 additional permissions that would make their lives a whole lot easier. The first is the district viewer. The district viewer will have the same Talking Points for Districts view that I am showing you right now, but all of the buttons that say Invite All, that say Add Staff, that say Send a Message, those will all be grayed out. So this account is really only like a read only. It won't be able to manage any data. It won't be able to change anything, sending messages. It will be able to see and download the analytics, and it will be able to read messages. But again, it is a read only. No additional abilities or data management are available with this district viewer. The next permission that we added is pretty similar. At the school level, it is the school viewer. Similarly, the school viewer will have the same view as the school administrator, but without any of the send a message, without any of the add or remove data buttons. It will only be read only and to be able to view the analytics. These both are probably super helpful for office staff who maybe don't need that much control, or maybe even data managers who like to be able to see the data but don't need to be able to handle it on a daily basis. However you think fits into those boxes, totally up to your discretion, again, to add them accordingly and assign them. One note as well about the district viewer versus the school viewer is the district viewer, of course, will have access to all of the schools across the entire district, whereas the school viewer, similar to the school admin, can be assigned to one or more individual schools. They will not have access to everything by default. You can assign them to all schools, but they will still only have the school level view, not the district level view. And the last, and hopefully potentially most helpful permission that we have added now is the non-rostered staff. In the past years, we've heard a lot of feedback from you that while the three big buckets that we had before were useful, there is this really fourth bucket of users who are, of course, staff. They do work with students. They do have their own classes that they are teaching, but perhaps those are not being listed in your student information system. We've heard from various different districts that people that fall into this bucket are like special instruction coaches, ELL staff, para educators, nurses, counselors. Again, all those folks who do work with students on a daily basis, but might not have actual courses in your student information system that are assigned to them, and therefore by default will not have courses within Talking Points. With that permission, when you send in staff through Clever, most of the staff will be assigned to this non-rostered staff role. And again, that is in your staff file in Clever. Not to be confused with the teacher file. The teachers will function exactly the same way, but anyone who again is not listed as a teacher, is not listed with any rosters, but is still being sent over, will be assigned as a non-rostered staff unless their title contains the words principal, dean, director, or administrator. In those cases, they will be added in as school admins, but everyone else will come in as a non-rostered staff. In terms of the non-rostered staff permission, you'll see down here that they also are only in teacher mode, so they don't have access to all of the data management and sending school-wide messages on behalf of the school that the school admin does, but they are assigned to all of the grade level classes within a school. So if they're assigned at a middle school, they will have access to grades 6, 7, and 8, and all of the students within there. This gives them the ability to build out their own groups. Maybe it's a counselor who works with the entire 6th grade, so they really do need the ability to send out a message from their name to all of the 6th grade families. Maybe it is an ELL specialist who has pull-out groups of just a few kids per week or per month. They will be able to build out their own class groups using those grade level classes. They can pull their kids and send messages to only the families that they need access to. Hopefully that all super helpful. And now back to getting to adding those actual permissions. So you'll see that you can click the district viewer. It'll automatically, as mentioned, assign those folks to the entire district. Once you click the school admin, you can go ahead and select here whether you want that person to be assigned to all schools or perhaps just one or a couple schools that they work with. The same will go for the school viewer. The same will go for the non-rostered staff. And the same will go for teachers. So for all of the latter four permissions, you will need to specifically assign them to one or more schools that they need access to that data. Once that's done, they will receive their invitation to log into Talking Points, and they'll see the data that has been shared with them, whether it's the school level or the teacher level permission that they have. If you have staff here who were using Talking Points last year under one of the main three permissions that we have, but this year they actually need different permission levels, you can go into this menu similarly, click on their name, and see the data and the schools for what permissions and roles they have. So if you click Edit Roles, you'll see that I have been assigned as an administrator to the entire Bay School District school here, and as a teacher to Bay School District school there. But I actually need some, and I'm a district administrator as well. But as a school administrator, I actually need access to all schools. So I'm going to go ahead and edit that. As a teacher, I only work with this Bay School District pullout group. So I'm going to click Save. And once that data is saved, it's going to again assign me to the entire Bay School District, make sure that I have access to everything. And there we go, my permissions are updated. So you'll see now that I have, as a school administrator, access to all of those schools. It's doing something weird. This is one of my demonstration accounts, but I will have access as a school administrator to all of those schools. The same will happen at the school level. Your school administrators will have the ability to assign those new permissions and add new permissions. But of course, at the school level, they will not have the ability to assign district admin nor district viewer roles. They will only have the remaining 4 roles from school admin all the way down, since they don't even have access to the district level, so they will not be able to assign that. And there you go. That is all of your new staff permission within your Talking Points account. Again, we hope this is super helpful, as we did take so much feedback from our district and school partners last year. And hopefully this will make your life a little bit easier this year in deciding which of your staff need access to what data within Talking Points and which abilities. We hope you learned a lot, and if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to your partner success manager. And we hope you have a great start to your school year.